Happy Friday, everyone. Today's a really exciting cocktail. I was at Costco and I happened to stumble upon a salted caramel whiskey. Now, normally flavored whiskeys are not something that I'm a big fan of. I typically find them too sweet. However, my wife really enjoys them. So we picked this up, and sure enough, it's a little sweet for my taste, but she really likes it. And it is really caramelly. And so I'm actually referring to Knuckle Noggin. Salted caramel whiskey, and no, I'm not holding it upside down. The label is printed upside down on purpose. I think it's just kind of a fun little thing. But this is a really tasty flavored whiskey. And one of the things I wanted to do to kind of, I'm not going to say tone down the sweetness, because if anything, I'm amplifying the sweetness. But I just kind of wanted to make it not such a sweet whiskey and more of a tasty cocktail. And so I came up with a Rolo, one of my favorite candies. It's chocolate and caramel. So to do that, I made my own chocolate liqueur. Chocolate liqueurs are really easy to make. Chocolate liqueur is one that took a little bit longer. You could also call this a creme de cacao. All I did was I took about 375 milliliters of vodka. You could also use a light rum, but vodka is neutral. I just find it a really good base for liqueur. And then I added that to 200 grams of cacao nibs. You can pretty much find these at any Mega Mart these days, or of course online. And I put those in a jar for 2 weeks. This one takes a while to make, but I promise you it is worth it. So vodka and cacao nibs. I also threw in a couple of vanilla beans, pods and all, in with the mixture. Allowed that to settle for 2 weeks. And then I added 4 ounces of a brown simple syrup. It's a lot of sugar, but this is a sweet drink, so it's okay. And actually, because of the amount of alcohol in it, the sweetness is not overbearing by any means. So those who like hard, stiff drinks are still gonna like this even with the sweet nods. At least I do, and that's the general type of drink that I like. So let's go ahead and get this started. First thing I'm gonna do is add 2 ounces of my caramel whiskey. To that, I'm gonna add 1 ounce of my creme de cacao. And I'm gonna stir that over ice. Now this is just a 2 ingredient cocktail. So a lot of people might ask, why stir that over ice? Why not just put that in a rocks glass and make it in a cocktail? Why are you doing this? Again, I actually want the dilution in this case. I tried this without it. It's a little strong. So the water from the ice is gonna add a lot of subtlety notes. And I prefer not to wait to drink. Let's just go ahead and get it done. So that's why I stir it over ice to add that dilution immediately. And so what I'm gonna do to serve it, because I still like a cold beverage, is I'm gonna put this in a rocks glass with a nice large form sphere ice. And so a large sphere ice is gonna make it so that my drink doesn't dilute as fast once it's in the glass. The larger the ice form, the slower it's going to melt, especially when it's an already cold beverage, which this is, because I just stirred it with ice. And then of course to garnish, I thought it would be fun to, since we're playing on candy, let's go ahead and use candy. I've got Trader Joe's boozy little chocolate truffles. These are delicious little alcohol-infused truffles. I went ahead and put one on a skewer, set it right on top. It's just gonna sit there, be beautiful, and then once I'm done with my beverage, I've got a tasty little snack to enjoy. So, enjoy the Rolo. If you like candy, and I like candy, you're gonna like this a lot. It's got so many great elements. I can taste the caramel flavor. I get the chocolate in there. I get a nice little hint of salt. This is such an enjoyable, refreshing cocktail without being overly sweet. I would not classify this as a dessert cocktail. This is not I would be perfectly happy being served this prior to a meal or after the meal. It is not overly sweet, in my opinion, but just quite a tasty little concoction to enjoy. So I hope you enjoy. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you next Friday.